Hi, I'm Jeffery, though you can call me Deef, and welcome to the Streemtech Sprint Summary for October 12th through October 25th, 2022. For those unaware, a sprint is a unit of time that a team has to complete a specific amount of work. Ours lasts about 2 weeks and cycles over every other Tuesday night. This video is going to go over the work that we completed in the sprint that just took place. Administration. Every company has things that they have to do that are more administrative than direct development, but those things are just as vital. As part of a way to optimize Streemtech, each sprint the goal is to complete one primarily administrative task that optimizes Streemtech itself. This week that delved a little bit into more development than administration, but these tasks are still quite important. This sprint, more work was done on the monitoring and metrics. Specifically, tracking of different levels of log calls is now being done. This will make it easier to be informed by automated alarms if excess errors are happening in the background. Time was also spent to deploy the new versions of Turbo Encapulator and the initial version of Hoster to production. These deployments have unblocked the development pipelines. Speaking of the pipelines, the last administrative thing completed was an optimization of these pipelines. Using a new step, it's no longer necessary to recompile the executables for the different programs multiple times for each environment. The initial executable is now able to be used in testing and directly deployed, which saves quite a bit of time in this production pipeline. The development pipeline has been cut down from 15 minutes to as low as 9, though this may be cut down to 6 if another optimization step is taken. Watchers. Watchers was a very large chunk of the time spent this sprint, having been almost completely redesigned and rebuilt in the span of the last 2 weeks. Relying heavily on code generation, it's now possible to add a new Watcher endpoint in a manner that makes sure it's properly implemented. The end result is a single file that contained 13,000 lines of code when completed, and another that contained 8. Thanks to this method using code generation, Watchers has already gone through integration testing and is largely ready to be deployed and used. Gacha Alerts frontend. The pagination for moving from one page to the next is complete and embedded on the front end. The buttons for moving from one page to the next, or selecting a specific page to go to, what we call pagination buttons, has been completed on the front end. Because of the ability for Angular to reuse components, this pagination component is able to be reused across not only Gacha Alerts, but the entire site, which is an incredible bonus. We're a bit behind on where we want to be with the front end in general, but the main components of the back end near completion. And because of that, we'll hopefully be able to spin up more individuals working on the front end as time moves on. Gacha Alerts backend. We've continued to work on the backend of Gacha Alerts by digging into the database requests. Each of these requests interacts with the data in a slightly different way, and each request must thus be handled carefully to make sure we don't allow any potential security breaches or any bugs in general. There's some work left to do here, and quite a bit of work left to do to make sure that the system has all of the necessary components. But we're reaching the end of the database side of the backend. Unfortunately, we did miss some things when we were designing the initial backend database side, and those things will need to be added as we move on. Once the watchers were completed as mentioned above, a small amount of work was done on the alerting side of Gacha Alerts. This side is the side that initializes the points redemptions and makes sure that any redemptions that are made are properly processed. There's quite a bit to juggle here, as making sure any enabled pull sets have their point redemption buttons created on Twitch's side is actually quite difficult. This work will continue this sprint and hopefully be finished quickly, though as a side note, due to a team member getting sick with COVID and another needing to step away from the project for a mental break, the next sprint will be a little bit less productive than normal, which is fine. As always, health comes first. As we take care of ourselves, please make sure to take care of yourselves, both physically and mentally. It's very important. That wraps it up for this sprint summary. As a reminder, if you're looking for a way to create polls live on stream or otherwise, be sure to visit stream.tech/poll/create. And if you want to keep up to date on what we're doing with Streemtech, make sure to hit that bell and subscribe. My name is Jeffery. Thank you for watching, and as we like to say here at Streemtech, stay crazy, stay curious.